Welcome to This Week in Vegas, a bettor's view. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined with my partner in crime, Vegas Runner. Each and every week, direct from Las Vegas, we bring you the big news this week in Vegas, what we did last week, what we've got happening this week. And we're taping here on Wednesday, 2 days after the national championship. Still talking about that. First off, I want to congratulate my man, Vegas Runner.
Thank you.
Great college basketball season. Your future bet on Duke got there
And middled that.
And you come back on, you came back on Monday with a hedge play on which any professional bettor, anytime you can make a profit, that's the job that you're supposed to do. No matter what your feelings are on the game and so forth, when you can turn a profit, locked in.
Our obligation is to our clients to help them manage their bankroll the way a professional should to turn a profit. And truth is, I was going to hedge that regardless because it's so early in the year, and to be able to pile up some units and have ammunition this early is huge going forward. But the truth is, after handicapping the game, I like Butler. I really thought they were going to keep it extremely close. So rather than just hedge 4 or 5 units, I went ahead and did a whole 10 units because I did like that Butler side. Otherwise, I would have just locked in a small profit, like you said, because when you got him by the balls, you don't want to let him go. It doesn't happen every day, you know.
So,
but you know,
it worked out perfect.
Exactly, it
perfect
just
for
fell,
you.
It did.
You cashed the future bet. You got the the play on Butler because they lost but covered.
A great end to a
perfect situation.
That was a great game, man. I mean,
the ending to the game,
incredible.
I know I've done it, last week I couldn't help but talking about it.
It was Hoosiers, dude.
Making the references to Hoosiers. And if the guy makes the shot, either
the fadeaway or the half-court shot.
It is the movie Hoosiers. But
I don't like that people are saying it was a bad game. I mean, it reminded me of when I was young and I watched what NC State did to Houston, where Houston had that 5-slamma-jamma and they were so exciting, but NC State said, we're going to play ugly and we're going to force you to beat us ugly. That's Butler.
That's Butler. So Butler went in there and, maybe having the home crowd, basically there helped him. But they said to Duke, we're playing our way.
Yeah, as long as the refs
You're number one
don't call these little touch fouls and let us play. Like, they let them play the whole tournament. Let's tell it like it is. They let Butler play Butler defense, and I love it. You're not going to break that team. I mean, you saw throughout the whole tournament, this team shot 35% and got to the championship game. That tells you how important defense is when you get in the postseason.
Well, we talked about it, and I had it in my analysis. You had it in your analysis. This is something to take away for next year. Guys, I say that when teams play close games, that during the tournament, it makes them so much tougher
and more confident
going up because they've seen everything. They've played those pressure situations. I mean, I'll be honest. When I was watching the game, every time Duke kicked it out to 6, you get that feeling like, here it is.
Here it goes.
This is it. This is where Duke does one of those, a team comes down, forces a 3
and all of a sudden it gets to 11.
And Butler never did. Every single time
they did it with Kansas State. Remember, we watched it at the Bellagio.
Right.
Kansas State got the lead. They said, we're still going to play our style ball. We're not changing it. And they did that throughout the whole tournament. And I gave them respect because they're so young. I mean,
coaching and being battle-tested through already experiencing that made them hang that right down to the wire.
And let's tell like it is. Duke annihilated West Virginia while Butler barely escaped Michigan State. So the stock on Duke was so high, and you always say
that was my write-up.
Yeah, you always say it. A team is never as good as they look or as bad as they look.
In their best game.
And that's what happened with Duke. I mean, they came out of that game looking like they can't be stopped.
Well, the early money on the game came out. It opened at 6.5.
Yeah.
Stormed up to 7.5. Everybody was betting.
Even 8s were out there for a while.
And then on game day, as we got closer to it came back up. I actually seen a couple places go back to 6.5.
The wise guys spoke loudly. They waited. They sat back.
It was a great game.
Great game.
Final question I have for you. Now, there's a rumor circulating around that after the end of that game, that Mrs. Vegas Runner is still scrubbing your underwear from that last shot. Is there any truth to that, or did we just retire?
I'm not going to lie. I don't get emotional with games, but there was so much at stake, Marco. I mean,
absolutely.
I had the future, I had the middle, and I had our pool back in Philly that I get in every year on the line with Duke winning the game. There was so much on the line.
So that pair's retired?
Oh, that's gone for good. For good. And when you, I mean, come on, how many times has it happened to you and you're like, I've seen this so many times before. Yeah. Here goes the half-court shot in the back, you know.
That's the closest half-court shot I think I've seen in a big game for a game-winner situation. I mean, the half-court shot was actually
better than the fadeaway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wish I had a camera on me to see what the color of my face at that time.
It couldn't have been pretty.
It was an emotional roller coaster, I'll tell you that.
It couldn't have been pretty at all.
Great finale. When it ends, you know, it's all worth it when the ends justify the means, you know.
Great. And I was Saturday for the Final Four. I was down at the Bellagio with RJ and actually got to meet Zach Lawson was in town. Great guy, guys. You know, I want to tell you, Zach Lawson's another one of pre-games. You know, it's a diamond in the rough we found. This guy's a gem. He's the new age of handicapping. He knows his stuff, and this guy is eager. And, you know, I was impressed when we met him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't make it down. It was a long Friday night. I went to the fights the night before, the Showtime fights. I got my ticket right here, no lie, on the floor. Tyson and Roberto Durand, actually, I kid you not, all my kid sat behind me. That's how good my seats were. Tyson and Roberto Durand were behind me. So, I mean, it was just one of those weekends, and I was going that night to Mandalay Bay's fights. I had gotten one of them passes. So it was just a hectic weekend, and I apologize. The kid I really wanted to meet, I met Mike, want to meet Dan now, and I had a chance for Seth.
It was a good time.
Good.
We had lunch at the Bellagio buffet, and then RJ and me played cards, and rough day at
the tables.
I was doing good, and RJ's the little mentor at the table. You know, Marco has his style, but RJ says you just need one thing left.
That missing piece.
That one missing piece. That missing piece
push you over the top, take you to that next level.
Yeah. So I switched tables to get to RJ's on Saturday, and I had a hand where now here's where I'm going to make the move, and I fired all 3 barrels with complete air. Okay, and I wanted the guy to fold, so I could turn that hand over, show RJ, okay, now we got that in the arsenal too.
It didn't happen.
I forgot one thing that I forgot. You can't bluff a guy.
A calling station. Yeah. You should have stuck to your Knish style, bro. Yeah. It's worked for you all these years.
And I was so pissed because I was doing good. I just totally pissed away like $250.
No reason to get Ivy on us. You've done fine with Knish the last 10 years.
So RJ wasn't feeling good. He left. Long story short, I played till the end of the West Virginia Kentucky game, and I texted my fiance where we were going to go to dinner, and I said I'm leaving 10 minutes. As soon as it came around to my blinds, I was under the gun. Last hand, I'm up. I got back my mistake, and I'm up a few dollars. I look down, swear to God, I've got pocket aces, my last hand of the night. Guy calls me. All I'm going to say is he flopped a set of 4s, and my last hand. Normally I'd stay and play, I had told Lori we're going to dinner.
You had to take your loss.
Take my loss. Walk, the walk of shame.
Terrible.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But hey, this is time's gone.
Welcome to Vegas.
I just want to give a teaser. We are going to be previewing some baseball. Some handicapping for baseball. So check out those 2 videos this week on the podcast. That will be VR and myself. As always, this is Marco D'Angelo. He is Vegas Runner. This has been This Week in Vegas. We'll be back next week. We'll tell you what's happening after the first week of baseball and everything going on here in Vegas. Have a great week, guys.